Oh, no, all Americans not in the company.
Construction company, I don't think of new and maintenance.
All American? All American's been around about 8 years.
No, but if you live in
Not
process
clean
rather than.
schools.
Yeah, they have a new maintenance. Aramark.
Huh?
Oh, they
There's
have.
a proposal, but
It
it
was
more specific.
Aramark until Aramark brought in their own people under their management contract. But
I
it's
totally
been
don't
around a
think
long
the
time.
middle school is covered thing. I've been there a few times, to be honest with you. There's the same cobwebs on the floor behind the doors near the gym all season long. So somebody's not cleaning the floors.
Well, you know,
I'm just saying what I see with my eyes. I don't listen to every little rumor that goes there.
and I see, oh no, that's what I see when I walk into schools that are own. I mean, these are issues that, you know, take a look at the walls up. I mean,
Floors
they're
are,
not much better, you know? I mean,
you need a white glove to go through all the buildings.
I'll tell you what I think wouldn't be a bad idea is that, you know, we come back to the old, everybody takes a school.
Well, I've always been in favor of that, okay?
Everybody takes a
Everybody
school.
please the school, talk to the principal, go to their PTA meetings, find out what their problems
It's
are.
their pet, you know, it's their, so if there's an issue, you handle it, it comes to the.
For instance, and I think that's a great idea, John, I was over at the academy today. I had to go work at the school store. The same was that were leaking the last rainstorm, this rainstorm, and they had sweatshirts to sop up the water. I was there the day she asked me to caulk the windows. Just get the caulk and caulk the windows. They're still leaking. They got fluorescent lights at the top of their well. The old-fashioned one, you know, that's dark. They need new lights for safety. They have lights out in homes. They got asbestos tiles coming up. They need to be placed in the classroom.
That's where the principal has to fire a letter to the
She
superintendent.
has, well, I think she talked to Tony, but she's talked to Joe and Costello.
And that where superintendent had to fire up Joe. Someone's got to be listening.
Now, right now, one is on, but, you know, it's,
Maybe we don't met out enough
Yeah.
discipline.
Did you have a chance to send a note to everybody requesting if they have a preference for what's,
that's why if the principal monthly report,
if I was to assign a school to
what
everybody?
has been done, it needs to be done. That's what we do.
Board member.
That's how things get done.
Who wants to do that?
What?
Yeah, we're very elected. Mine wants the high school.
Who wants to?
I'll take the big one.
I told Art, Janice is going to send out a note to the board members before the meeting, please get back your request for the schools. I said, geez, I wonder who wants that.
I do. I do.
Tell Janice.
You know what?
I want 200, Tyler.
That school is so, you know, just because we don't know what's going to happen and it's old and it's a money pit, doesn't mean that we can't address safety issues, that we can't do little things like that. That's not asking. And you know, besides, it's not our fault that they can't sell the building. We shouldn't have to bear the burden of all this expense either. The town had this cockamamie idea. I don't know how many administrations, nobody's done anything with it except that's sold, and we don't have it sold. People don't know whether we're going to have a school or not going to have a school. There's kids in it, and it still has to be presentable. I'm just concerned about blue systems tiles.
That's the quickest way to get something done.
I'm sure. You know,
Should we meet again?
I would take two
shortly?
schools too. I got a lot of time.
What are you gonna do? You
Send them word out.
You know,
June comes fast.
I would do Carbone or
And then we're going back, this is where we go back to the tail wagging the dog. You know, as someone coming from the cafeteria and saying that this is lousy and that's lousy. And this is
No, wait a minute.
And
hold on.
Harry got loose asbestos tiles in it. Do you hear about it? You heard about it? I hear about it.
well, then your employees aren't doing their job.
Well, that's what I said about the
I know. So
cafeteria.
this is how we find out. How else are you going to find out?
Let me ask you a question now. If
Trickle down.
the principal there
Yeah.
has asked Joe,
I'm not saying she asked her repeatedly. I'm saying I was over there on something else, and we were talking, and I said, I'm going to a building and grounds subcommittee meeting. We're going to be discussing. There's no meetings on this building. She says, no, only the windows that we talked about that are need caulk, a couple of lights, and we got some tiles. So, you know, I talked to the custodians, and I talked to Joe. And she says, hopefully they'll get done. They've been very good on addressing heating problems. They've been
Yeah,
There's
just a lot of
there,
work in there.
yeah.
So these aren't things that have been,
No, this is just, no, this
Fairly
is,
new, I guess.
the tiles are going, I guess for a little while, because, one of the elements you mentioned, somebody went there, put in a couple of tiles, times left, and never got back to the rest of them that had to be done. You know, so.
Well, I would hope maybe what I'll do is, in the assignment of schools, is that we don't, this isn't an effort to come jackpot
No.
things, is that, just to that, the facilitator, if need be, to make sure that, it's for Trav or Tony,
Which
is
is
aware of
followed.
it, it's just that, hey,
that's what I mean.
Joe, here's your deal, here's your things. Now, if it's 2 months or it's a month later and those are still issued, then, elevating them to some higher level is certainly not out of line. And if it, if it's the way that Tony's gonna find out things, maybe it will facilitate people making sure that people know about issues. I'm sure that what happened to the cafeteria has changed.
He's a vetting board member. If he becomes made aware of something and strikes a question mark for you, call
Well,
Just give me
why
a
should
call.
you be with
him.
little things like?
Well, now, what's the difference if it comes out at a meeting
Could we
like this
have
or a
it-
meeting on a Tuesday
because
night?
we're into
I'd
a-
rather have it come with a phone call.
I gotta
Everyone
believe-
is on board working, so I can make a call immediately and then check that.
In the process of meeting principals, just being in a school, maybe on a regular basis, when you get by a school,
How do you react to those?
if there's an issue that you go to Joe, I really don't see Joe not, if you said to Joe, there and you get that corridor, there's a half a dozen tiles. I'd be hard pressed to believe he wouldn't get those 3 tiles or 5 tiles fixed. If the light was out,
As a
that's
board
the channel.
member going there to school, that would be a good way to check and balance, because board goes back there in a month after you
And we're not, because let's remember
Now
something.
you don't go to Joe.
I don't want us to micromanage it, and that's not what this is. Just so that the principals, people that know, really internally, people know that people are looking out to see what's being done. So that if things aren't done, the board does know that, you know what, I don't like the conditions there. And custodians, and what, there are board members stopping in here on a regular basis. And so, you know what, I don't get jackpotted at a meeting.